We're getting a lot of questions about Zillow and all that's happening with that company. And, frankly, I want to first start by telling you, because a lot of you wonder how it affects my business. A lot of you wonder how it's affecting your values, how it's affecting the market, because that's a pretty significant event that has happened. It was not unforeseeable, I will simply say that, because as I've been watching the market over the past couple of years, and really the past 28 years, what I've seen is a lot of people wanting more options than what they've typically had for selling their home. So entree the iBuyer, and there's not just one iBuyer out there, there's multiple iBuyers out there. What we've had the privilege of doing is sitting with people in their dining room and talking about their home value. Not everybody's given us that opportunity. Some people have gone straight to the computer and they've typed in their information and they've got an iBuyer offer in hand. So if you don't know, what's happened with Zillow is they lost $1.4 billion through their iBuyer program in the past year or so. Stocks have been plummeting and they're looking to cut close to 25% of their people. So job loss. So it's pretty significant when you think about it, and it affects the market in some ways, and in other ways it really doesn't affect the market at all. The reality is, how's it going to affect your value? Well, frankly, for those people that we've sat with and we've given advice to on how much they could get for their home in today's market over the past couple of years, we've seen a consistent trend that people are relying on the algorithms, okay? And frankly, let me say this out loud. An online algorithm cannot compete with what we can share with you about the market, local and real time. I mean, we're seeing, 500 homes a year. We see what the algorithms do not see. We've been talking about this. Some of my past clients will laugh because they'll say, "Hey, Rob, you realize my home is worth blah, blah, blah." And they'll give me the price and I'll say, "Great, where'd you get that number?" And they'll say, "Oh, well, Zillow says." Okay, so Zillow's Zestimate says that your home is worth that much. And what do they base that on? So it's online data. I mean, you can go online and find any data that supports whatever you want. And that's a reality. What we've consistently seen is the online data being inaccurate, and sometimes it's to the benefit of the seller and sometimes it's to the detriment of the seller. So the question is, how do you know? The way to find that out is to sit down with us, sit down with an agent, a local agent that you trust, and talk with them about this. Let them see your house. It doesn't matter if it's ready for market. It can be a complete disaster. We walk through homes all the time that are a complete mess. So we talk about what things they can do. We talk about what things they don't need to do in order to sell. And then they get real live advice on what's going to give them the most return on their investment. So back to Zillow. We have seen times in the past couple of years where we've literally had to, in good conscience, say, you know what, that's the best offer you'll probably get. Or maybe it's not the best offer, but the value return on the effort of what you have to do to get your home ready, it's worth giving up a little bit of money to do that. So we've seen that. Well, guess what? That's going away. Zillow has closed down their iBuyer program, and they're no longer offering you the prices that their Zestimate says is what your home is worth. Why is that? Well, let's just connect the dots real easily. Your home is not worth what Zillow says it is, what Redfin says it is, what Realtor.com says it is, because if you assume your value is what's in the eye of the buyer and what is based on the trends of what's happening in your market, then the only person that can tell you is the person who's actually in the local market.